Alexander the Great, 356–323 BCE, was a Macedonian king and one of history's most brilliant military leaders. Born in Pella, Macedonia, he was tutored by the philosopher Aristotle. At age 20, he became king after his father King Philip II was assassinated. He quickly consolidated power and began a bold campaign to conquer the Persian Empire, then the most powerful empire in the world. Over the next decade, he led an unstoppable army across Asia Minor, Egypt, Persia, and into India, never losing a battle. He founded many cities, including Alexandria in Egypt, and spread Greek culture across 3 continents, a period now known as the Hellenistic era. In 323 BCE, at just 32 years old, he died in Babylon under mysterious circumstances, possibly from illness, poison, or exhaustion. Despite his early death, Alexander's legacy shaped the ancient world for centuries through cultural blending and the spread of Greek civilization. Napoleon Bonaparte, 1769–1821, was a French military leader and emperor who dramatically shaped European history. Born on the island of Corsica, he rose quickly through the military ranks during the French Revolution. Gained national fame after victories in Italy and Egypt, showcasing his strategic brilliance. In 1799, he seized power in a coup and became first consul. By 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of the French. He built a vast empire through a series of wars across Europe, defeating major powers and spreading Napoleonic reforms like legal equality and secular law codes. His invasion of Russia in 1812 marked a turning point, leading to devastating losses and a decline in his power. In 1814, he was exiled to Elba, but escaped and returned for the 100 Days, before being finally defeated at Waterloo in 1815. He spent his final years in exile on the island of St. Helena, where he died in 1821. Napoleon is remembered as a military genius and a complex figure, both a reformer and a conqueror, whose legacy reshaped Europe. Julius Caesar, 100 BCE to 44 BCE, was a Roman general, politician, and key figure in the transformation of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. Born into a patrician family, Caesar rose through the ranks of Roman politics and military command. He gained fame for his conquest of Gaul, modern-day France, expanding Rome's territory and earning the loyalty of his troops. In 49 BCE, he defied the Senate by crossing the Rubicon River with his army, sparking a civil war. After defeating his rivals, including Pompey, he became dictator for life in 44 BCE, centralizing power and enacting reforms. His growing power alarmed many senators, and on March 15, 44 BCE, the Ides of March, he was assassinated by a group of senators, including his friend Brutus. Caesar's death led to another civil war, which ultimately resulted in the rise of his adopted heir, Octavian, Augustus, and the birth of the Roman Empire. Caesar remains a symbol of ambition, leadership, and political transformation. Hannibal Barca, 247 BCE, circa 183–181 BCE, was a brilliant Carthaginian general and one of Rome's greatest enemies during the Second Punic War. Born in Carthage, modern-day Tunisia, he was the son of the general Hamilcar Barca, who taught him to hate Rome from a young age. Hannibal became famous for leading an army, including war elephants, on a daring march across the Alps to invade Italy. He won stunning victories against Rome, especially at Cannae, 216 BCE, where he destroyed a much larger Roman army. Despite years of success in Italy, he lacked reinforcements from Carthage and was eventually forced to return to defend his homeland. In 202 BCE, he was defeated by Scipio Africanus at the Battle of Zama, ending Carthage's dominance. After the war, Hannibal became a statesman, then went into exile to avoid Roman pressure. He took refuge with various eastern rulers before eventually taking his own life to avoid capture. Hannibal is remembered as one of the greatest military commanders in history and a symbol of resistance against Rome. Scipio Africanus, 236 BCE to 183 BCE, was a legendary Roman general best known for defeating Hannibal and securing Rome's dominance in the western Mediterranean. Born into a prominent Roman family, he began his military career during the Second Punic War. After Carthage's victories in Italy, Scipio proposed a bold strategy: take the war to Spain, where he successfully captured Carthago Nova and broke Carthaginian power there. He was later given command to invade North Africa, forcing Hannibal to return from Italy. In 202 BCE, Scipio defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama, ending the Second Punic War and earning the title Africanus in honor of his victory. He implemented lenient terms for Carthage, strengthening Rome's reputation and influence. Though later involved in politics, Scipio faced opposition and eventually withdrew from public life. Scipio Africanus is remembered as one of Rome's greatest military leaders, a brilliant strategist whose victory over Hannibal changed the course of Roman and world history. Richard the Lionheart, 1157–1199, also known as Richard I of England, was a legendary medieval king and warrior known for his bravery and leadership during the Crusades. Born in Oxford, England, he was the son of King Henry II and Eleanor of Aquitaine. He became King of England in 1189, but spent very little time there, focusing instead on military campaigns. Richard is most famous for leading the Third Crusade to the Holy Land, where he fought against the Muslim leader Saladin. Though he didn't recapture Jerusalem, he gained respect as a formidable and chivalrous warrior. On his way home, he was captured and imprisoned in Austria. England paid a massive ransom for his release. He later returned to fight in France, where he was killed in 1199 during a siege by a crossbow bolt. Richard became a symbol of knightly courage and heroism, earning his nickname Lionheart for his fearlessness in battle.